Blessings, 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 great men and women of God. I am so excited because this is our season of stupid blessings and strategic favor. Let me say that again, stupid blessings and strategic favor. Can I just share this testimony with you? I promise I won't be before you long, but I want to encourage you to keep holding on because God is not finished with us yet. This testimony is fresh, it's real, and it's marked with the fingerprint of God. See, my soul shall make a boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Psalms 34:2-3, King James Version. On July 21st, we had an issue with a refrigerator. My side-by-side wasn't that old, maybe about 5 or 6 years old. But when they sent the technician, the first technician didn't even bother to show up. So I had to wait 3 more days for a second technician. Guess what? That technician didn't show up either. So I had to wait an additional 3 days for another technician to show up. Now, this technician did show up, but he could not resolve the issue. So now I have to call back into the office and let them know that the situation had not been resolved. I did tell you it was from July 21st. And I've been paying this company over 5 years that if any appliance in my house breaks down, they're repaired or they're replaced. Glory to God. Y'all need to know that these folks gave your sister a run for her money. I was calling every day, 2 or 3 times a day, trying to get someone to show up or to do what I was paying for. If you couldn't fix it, you're supposed to replace it. And I'm just walking the floors and I'm talking to God about the situation. And I woke up that morning, God said, call. So I called. Finally, I reached a woman who answered the phone with compassion. She said, I know what it's like. I've got that same appliance at my house. I know what it feels like to pay every month on time and still be left hanging. Then she said, I'm going to do something different. It shifted the entire atmosphere of the conversation when God is giving you stupid blessings and strategic favor. She said, I'm going to send you a check. I'm not going to send you the card. I'm not going to send you a voucher. I'm going to send you a check. This way you can spend it however you need to spend it. I said, okay, I appreciate your favor. I appreciate it. Thank you. But the amount she gave me, it would not cover the kind of refrigerator we had our eyes on. Anybody know me? Know Minister Nikita? The day the 3 ice cubes hit her floor, girlfriend was already scouting for a brand new refrigerator. That's just the way she is. God created her that way, and I'm grateful that he did. Then the woman said something to me to let me know that God was in the room and a part of our conversation. She said, just buy it with your credit card. And when the check comes, use that check to pay that portion off. Now catch this. I never told her I had a credit card. That had to be Jesus speaking through her. That was divine strategy for a daughter who couldn't think clearly in the moment. You need to understand. We're talking about from July 26th until September 8th before we actually got the new appliance. But I was too busy looking at my blessing and thanking God for the blessing. So I turned to my daughter and said, Nikki, we got to walk carefully. We're being blessed in this season in abundance. Stupid blessings and strategic favor has showed up at our door. So we went to the appliance store and I found the refrigerator. It was listed at $10.99. I said, okay, Jesus. But hear me, I didn't pay $10.99. And I want you to keep that $10.99 number in your mind. That price did not include my delivery, setup, or removal of the old appliance. But the favor of God, the strategic favor, and the stupid blessing was still flowing. So by the time the gentleman gave me my bill, which included delivery, setup, as well as the removal of the old appliance, it came to nearly $300 under the total of $10.99. Plus, they did not charge me the tax. Stupid blessings, strategic favor. But that wasn't the end. The delivery team showed up a couple of days later with a 30-foot truck. I ran to the door and I explained to them, I said, please don't come down my driveway. Your truck is too heavy and you'll crack my concrete. Well, how many of y'all know that when I stepped away from the door, the driver decided to come down the driveway anyway? And sure enough, it did cause a different set of problems. And as I stood there, I heard clearly, don't worry, God says it's ours. I said, okay. The next day, they said the refrigerator was damaged because I had to call back into the warehouse that had shipped the refrigerator. And the woman said she did not know how it got damaged. And I said, well, it didn't get off the truck. They never tried to remove it from the truck. I said, so I don't understand what the issue was. She said, it's got a dent and a scratch. I'll send you a picture to see if you still want it or if we need to order another one. Well, the next day, she sent Ryan and Keenan. This was the third attempt. These men were a blessing to us. They pointed out the scratch and the dent. You couldn't see it with your naked eye. You had to know it was there. So they came through the front door, opened the doors, and set it up. And I said, I'm not worried about those little minor scratches. We'll keep it. Now, here's the part that ought to make you shout. I had to call back into the company because in my process of speaking with them, they had offered a inconvenience refund. So now I'm calling in to get my refund. And I shared with them, I've been a faithful customer over 15 years, and this was the worst delivery experience I've ever had. The manager that I spoke with, she said to me, I'm going to give you the inconvenience refund. I said, okay, I'm not asking to be paid for time off, but you're offering. So I charge normally $50 a day. My daughter charged $125 because she makes more than I do. So she said, what do you want? I'll show you how good God was. I could have said, pay my daughter's rate. But God said 50. So what I said to the lady was this, just give me 50. Now, in my speaking to her, I said, just give me a total of 50. She said, hold on, Miss Greathouse. She came back and she said, Miss Greathouse, I'm refunding you $208 on your credit card from the church. I was willing to settle for less, but God said, no, I'm going to do more because this is stupid blessing and strategic favor time in your life. Now, let's count up everything. I'd already been gotten the refrigerator at a great discount. I think from $10.99, when you added the delivery, the setup, and the hauling off of the old, it came up to about $860. Then I received a check for $485 from my appliance insurance company, and then now another $208 refund. You need to understand, this is why I give God glory all the time, and I trust Him more than my own wisdom. I paid $250 for a refrigerator that was marked at $1,099. You don't hear me. Stupid blessings and strategic favor season. Now, what I did not get a chance to share with you before this was September 1st, which is Labor Day. You know, they have all these things on sale. And I desired another recliner, a different recliner. Y'all know me, I had to be unique. And I got a recliner I've never seen before. Now, I need you to hear this. The price of the recliner was $10.99. The refrigerator was $10.99. Y'all need to know, I walked out of that store paying only $600 for a brand new recliner chair. New style, got all the imports on the inside that you can plug in to charge, a rocker, a twister, you name it, for $600 and not $10.99. And I pointed to my daughter. I said, I want you to notice something. God is doing something with this $10.99. The chair was $10.99. The refrigerator was $10.99. God is doing something with this number. This is our number, our miracle number in this season. I'm not bragging or boasting. I'm just testifying. I want somebody to remain encouraged and know that if God does it for one, He'll do it for another. And I tell people all the time, as long as I can see somebody getting blessed, then that means that God is still working for His people. The moment no one gets blessed, I'm going to get worried. See, I tell you all the time, it never stop hearing testimonies. We have to continue to encourage one another. We got to continue to encourage one another. And one of the ways we encourage one another is always the fact that we're listening to their testimonies. We're praising and worshiping with them during their testimony time, because we know ours is right behind theirs. And I say again, but if 100 of us are waiting and one gets blessed, that means God is still moving for His people. That means our number could be the next number. So hang in there. Hold on. Trust Him in all things, because He is going to make a way for you. I say it again. $10.99 was my miracle number, my spiritual number. If I go out there and have to shop for something else, you know, I'm going to something that's going to be what? $10.99, because that has proven to be a miracle number for me. I want you to take time in your prayer closet. If you need things, cars, appliances, furniture, whatever you need, ask God for your spiritual number. And whatever your spiritual number is, that's what you're going to go for. I just told my pastor over there in Kenya, y'all pray. And whatever number God gives you, that's what you pay for the land. If it's more than that, then that land is not for you, because you want to stay aligned with the Word of God. I'm just trying to encourage somebody along the way. I want you to understand, all of us have our miracle number. Our miracle number in this season is $10.99. It may be yours too. or it may be a complete different number. But I'm encouraging you to look around. Let God speak it to you, show it to you, whichever way He connects with you, and settle for that particular number. Now, if this ministry has stirred your spirit and these teachings and testimonies have blessed your life, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Apostle Stephanie S. Greathouse, no spaces in between the words. Share it with others who are hungry for truth, for love, and for transformation. Your support helps us reach hearts and generations, building in faith, shaping legacy, and spreading the word in unforgettable ways. Let me say that again. Your support helps us reach hearts across generations and nations. Thank you.